8th Global Family Office Investment Summit here in Dubai, hosted by the Ritossa Family Office. We are joined by Jean BAWDEN, who is one of the three women who predicted the financial crisis back in 2007. That's quite an accomplishment. First of all, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, you have also developed interesting technologies as a social entrepreneur. What have you done and what are you working on right now?
As a co-founder with my partner and the U.S. Department of Energy, we developed a technology to look for basically dirty bombs and nuclear weapons in cargo containers, and we were the lead technology in this area several years ago. And now I'm working on next generation battery technology. So we are developing a battery that will last for 50 years. It's solid state, and it will charge in 5 to 10 minutes.
So in case I lose the charger, I'm
Yes.
pretty comfortable. Okay, but I would also like to know something about how do you see the markets right now? Because as I said before, you stated publicly, you foresaw publicly in a newsletter and also on CNBC that the financial crisis was coming. So what do you think about the overall health of the US economy and the markets? Everyone is fearing a crash that is not coming along right now, but it could come. Well, what is your viewpoint on that?
Well, I'd have to say that I'm also bearish. I'm a big believer that we're going to have a worldwide currency crisis at some point here because of all of the quantitative easing. And I also believe that we should hold a little bit of gold. So I'm sorry for those people that are not gold lovers, but I think that right now, with what I see coming, having some gold in your portfolio will be very important. I think you want to make sure that it's not in ETFs, have the physical gold or something like Sprott. I love Sprott Asset Management in Canada because you know that that gold is there. I do think that at some point, having some gold miners is also important, but when the market crashes, the miners and gold crashes with the market. So if you're looking to get your gold or to get some gold miners, I would wait until the market really takes a big hit, and several days after the market goes down, you'll find that that's your best entry point into the gold market, and usually even a month after that is your best entrance into the gold miners. And of course, top gold miners in countries that won't get hit is probably the safest place to be, in my humble opinion. And
you have just delivered a speech at one of these conferences in this investment summit, and obviously you have conveyed this message. What other messages have you conveyed to the audience? Have you informed the audience with? What is, in your opinion, the most important thing to know for a family office who is investing its wealth right now?
Well, I think that as the cycles go up and down, it's very important to hold your cash and be ready for the next down cycle. Of course, where some of the people in the conference today think that there's going to be a blow up, is market's going to top here soon, but we could have who knows how much percentage up, but at some point here, we are going to see the downturn, and I know a lot of other people have been bearish. Certainly many more people than were bearish in 2007 when I saw it coming with a number of friends of mine. But I think that it's very important to have your cash on hand and be ready to keep your powder dry for those extraordinary opportunities that will come. I think the next one's going to be a lot harder than 2008 for many reasons. So,
if you had to pinpoint the next black swan for the market, what would that be?
You mean besides the biggest debt bubble in the history of the planet?
Corporate debt, student loans, which bubble are you referring to?
All of the above, and student debt and every kind of debt. I would say countries are overburdened. I think we're going to see a lot of trouble, and I think that sovereign debts around the world, currency crises, the quantitative easing has been unprecedented, and it's just going to have to grow at the first light of the future problems, which are just around the corner.
And lastly, you have taken part in many conferences in the past 2 days. So which is the most useful piece of information that you have acquired by talking with your peers, with other people, with people who are in charge of family offices?
I think that the trillions of dollars in family office wealth can make a big difference and sort of shape and change the way things move. So I think that's something that is very interesting. You look at the big corporations and how they're controlling things around the world, and I think it's very important to look at the big families and to understand that they too can make the needle move in the right direction.
Well, thank you very much for this interview, madam, and thank you for having watched us.